Hi guys, welcome back to the Nordic Kuno, back with a recorded video for you this time. And I haven't been on in a while, so I just wanted to come on and check in with you guys and have a little look what's going on at the club at the minute. It is, I would say, not that quiet, but not that busy at the same time. So there is a little bit of news. We're going to check it out. I'm not sure how exactly long I'll stay online for. Let's see. We'll go through a few things anyway, and then we can see how long everything will take. But I have a few notes here where we can start from. We have some good news. We have some bad news coming in and out of the club today. We have this man signing right here behind me. I'm doing him dirty. I'm in the middle of the screen here, but we got the two big boys. Let's just put him Tzolis in the middle there, okay? So we have a little bit of news. News. I'll start with bad news, and then we can go on to the better news. I think that is the best way to approach this. So let's start with the news of William Saliba, and that he's not going to require surgery, which is, I guess, good news in that sense, but still he is going to be out for a few months. So it's good news, but not bad. With bad news, but in the best possible way, let's say. So let's share this screen with you guys and just have a little look at what they're saying about William Saliba. Bum ba ba da ba bum bum. Ba-dum ba ba da ba dum. And if I can find the right article where I left off from earlier, would be great. So let's have a little look through here. Oh yeah, actually it was this one here. William Saliba. So let's share this screen with you guys. That was the wrong one. Perfect. I'm not going to edit these videos. I'm still learning how to use this. So if we make mistakes, we make mistakes. Not right. No biggie. Nothing too professional here. Just a little bit of fun and a little bit of news for you. So let me just zoom in on this so we can all see it, guys. All right. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. William Saliba has returned to us from World Cup duty, where he played an integral role in France in reaching the semi-finals of the competition. Well, we all saw him go down in that semi-final, or quarter-final, I should say. Was it quarter-final or semi-final? Against Spain. It was a semi-final, wasn't it, against Spain? Or he just gave up. He couldn't play anymore. He kicked the ball away and sat down, and we all knew then. We all feared the worst. So this is the update that we got out of AFC from Aresnal today. We got subsequent specialist reviews on Williams' return to London this week have confirmed that he has suffered a back injury which will require a period of rehabilitation. Extensive assessments have concluded that surgery is not recommended, but William will now commence a managed recovery program. Williams' rehabilitation will commence immediately with continual management of his injuries, and he's expected to be out for action for an extended period. Everyone is fully focused on supporting William to ensure that he is back to full fitness as soon as possible. Now, I watched a couple of videos from a couple of other content creators regarding Aresnal this week, and they're saying he's going to be out for about 4 to 5 months, 3 to 4 months. But it could be, 4 months before he's actually back playing again. And let's see. I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to be together. So I said, good news. There were injuries, always good news, but still out for quite a long period. So I'm going to go through a couple of fixtures that he might have to miss. So if it's start from now, so what we're now, we're at nearly the end of July, and we have 3 to 4 months, let's say, that he's going to miss. So what games is he going to actually miss? And well, we have those right here. Maybe we can share this and we can have a little look. So if we start from week 1, he's going to miss the opening games of the season, which are a little tricky. We have Coventry, of course, in the opening Premier League game of the season. Then we go away to Villa. Then we're home to Chelsea, away to Sunderland, away to Brighton. And then after that, we are going to have a few. Arsenal versus Leeds, he's going to miss. Nottingham Forest v Arsenal away. Arsenal at home to Everton. This is nearly the end of October, so end of July, August, September, October. Liverpool he'll probably miss, and he will probably miss the last game also with Hull, which, I mean, that's not too bad. But then you have some big games after that. We have Newcastle away, and we Man City at home, with Brentford away and Tottenham at home. Tottenham are at home, so we will be away. So I think that's going into December. So if it's 3 to 4 months, we would hope to be seeing him back before. We would hope to see him back for these games here, wouldn't we? Week 10, maybe 11 and 12 and so on. The only thing is, if he's going to be, fully match fit, can he be back for those big games with, maybe he could make the Liverpool game. It'd be great to have him back for that one. Arsenal v Hull, I think we can sit out that one, even if he is fully fit. And we are away to Newcastle. He would great to have him there. We would really need him against Man City. So really depends on how long he has to rest and how fit he can get back. As when he comes back from the injury, how fit he's going to be. And what are we going to do in the meantime? What's the scenario? What do you guys think is going to be Arteta's master plan in this one? Because I reckon that he's going to be missing for a few months. So we are going to need someone to cover. Now, of course, we got Mosquera last season. Still a young buck. We saw him make that big mistake in the Champions League final. Is that someone we can trust in there? Is it going to be more of maybe play a Ben White and Urian Timber and Mosquera and kind of rotate those guys for central defense and right back duties? Or do we actually go in and get a central defender? The talk, of course, in the last few weeks has been Ezri Konsa from Aston Villa, who's going to set us back pretty penny, I would say. And the thing is, what happens then when Saliba comes back? We can't, if we're spending 50 million on someone like Konsa just to be sitting on the bench, it's always good to have options, but it's a lot of money. But subsequently, he could be on the bench for the half of the season. Or do we go for a right back and then a specialized right back? So then we can have Mosquera, we can have Timber, we can have Ben White playing in that center position, and then we have a dedicated right back. I think Timber will probably be that player. He is the best that we have in the squad, one of the best in the world, I would say. So I would like to see him playing right back every game we can, if possible. And if rested, then you can bring in maybe whoever we buy, or maybe put Ben White there and play Mosquera center back, something like this, Ideally, maybe a right back would be better than getting a center back, because we have 3 center backs that can play right back with Ben White, Mosquera, and Timber. So maybe a dedicated right back. Who that could be? Of course, there was the talk of Livramento, but he's injury prone. It's going to cost a little bit of money from Newcastle. And are they willing to sell us potentially 2 players in this window with Bruno, who we will touch on a little bit later? But let's see what happens with Saliba. Said good news that he's not going to require surgery, but it's still bad news overall. So after that, we're going to have a quick look at what else has been going on in the club. We've signed a couple of players, nothing too exciting, nothing to get your heart pumping or anything like that. Not the big signings that we want, but just a couple of signings just to let you know if you have been away these few days. So we have signed a goalkeeper. and a goalkeeper where I'm sure not too many of you are going to be happy about, with Ilian Meslier, who is going to come in as we guess is going to be the third choice goalkeeper. Now, Kepa still at the club. I'm not sure what's going to go on with him. Haven't seen much news about him leaving yet. So if Kepa is going to be the second choice, then Meslier will be the third choice, and then I guess maybe Setford will go out on loan. However, if Kepa leaves, where does it leave us regarding number 2 and 3? Because a lot of people are worried that Meslier is going to come in and be the number 2, and then Setford could maybe be the number 3. So that would mean Meslier would play the cup competitions, and we all saw what happened last year in the Carabao Cup final, where our goalkeeper was probably the main reason we lost the final. So having Meslier as a second choice goalkeeper does not inspire too much confidence. I think a lot of people would maybe prefer Setford to come in and be the second choice and Meslier be third choice. But let's see what happens with that. But yeah, not a very exciting signing. One that I won't only waste my time putting, and I won't even waste your time, more importantly, putting him up on the screen. Now, however, we have signed a new little defender. And you all remember Matthew Upson, who we signed when he was 18 from Luton Town all those years ago. We have signed his son, who used to play for Tottenham. I think he's rejected a new contract with Tottenham. And he's decided to sign for Arsenal, just like his father did. And again, not a very exciting signing. However, there he is, good-looking kid, 18 years of age, centre-back, just like his papa. And yeah, nice to see that a young fella has actually chose Arsenal ahead of some other clubs. Like, we've lost a couple of players to Man City recently, of course, and of course we've lost Chido Obi to Man United last season. So a few players have departed for other clubs, but nice to see someone joining us from a rival club. And as centre back, as you can see here, I guess he's named after Frodo himself. He must be a huge fan of the Lord of the Rings, Mr. Matthew Upson. I bet you, if you ask me, he probably is. So Elijah Upton, who was most recently on the books at Tottenham Hotspurs, Upson rejected a contract extension with Spurs and fielded offers from Chelsea, Man City, Everton, Bayern, Borussia Dortmund, Bayer Leverkusen, and Monaco before eventually agreeing to join Tottenham. So a lot of clubs in for him. So he must be highly rated. Don't know too much about him. The youngster made his decision after visiting the Soba Reality Training Centre earlier this month and holding talks with his family, including his father and former Arsenal defender Matthew Upson. So welcome to the club, Elijah Upson. I did not welcome Ilian Meslier to the club, which was very rude of me. So, of course, welcome to the club. We'll try to support you as much as we can. Of course, you're joining Arsenal, so we will support all the players who are here. We don't always have to agree with the signings, but let's try to welcome them and wish them the best for the new season. So, yes, what else have we got to talk about today? Because we have a few other little things. This is moving away a little bit from, well, it is transfer related, but not too indirectly at Arsenal, because Morgan Rogers, of course, who was all set to join Arsenal, has joined Chelsea, which I'm sure if you haven't been hiding under a rock, then you would have seen Rogers has joined Chelsea for 117 million, which is willing to pay, and he's decided to join Chelsea. And I don't want to waste too much time about it, but it is one that feels like the cat that got away kind of here. So we're a little bit disappointed with it, but let's not let the ops know. We won't dwell on it too much. But Morgan Rogers has signed for Chelsea. And a little stab at Arsenal when he said that joining the biggest club in London. So a little bit of a dig at Arsenal there, but it should be an exciting fixture when we play them later on in the season, and we hopefully will make sure that Rodgers made the wrong decision joining Chelsea. So he has joined Chelsea. Going on at the minute, we have. I've scoured the internet. Not much news. A lot of chit chat about this, a little bit about that. I guess the main one is Bruno. Bruno has. I was watching a video from a different content creator today. Henry Talks Football, who touched on it, that Chelsea could also be going in for Bruno Guimaraes. And well, if Chelsea come knocking at the door and say, "Here's 120 million pounds," what do Arsenal do then? Because they're not going to pay that kind of money. So money talks, and if Arsenal can't match an offer that Chelsea, if they bid too much money and Arsenal don't feel the valuation is within their valuation of the player, then Chelsea will get him and we'll miss out again. So this one is, I think this is one of the main targets for Arsenal this season. So I think this is one we should be riots on the streets of London. But we have not much news from this since the other day, where we were told that it's going to be the clubs have open talks. There has been nothing really substantial that's moved on from there. Fabrizio has sent a little tweet out, I guess, just to get a little traction with it, but nothing really new here. He says Arsenal have been linked to several players as they look to strengthen their midfield, but Newcastle United's Bruno has now emerged as a standout target. Having now open talks with £75 million deal, Arsenal have been told by Newcastle to come back to the table, but negotiations will be far from straightforward. So nothing new really. Arsenal just have to pay what Newcastle want, and if they don't, he won't go straightforward as that. So let's see if there's a little bit of flexibility with the two clubs to see if they can come to an agreement, because I think this could be a game changer for Arsenal. This would be, I think, this more than the Rodgers deal. I think it's more mouth-watering to Arsenal fans, supporters, because we really need someone to help with Declan Rice, because he just takes on too much work. He's super fit, but he gets through so much running every game. And now we have the World Cup that's, ran late. They got to the semi-finals, so we need someone to come in and help at the beginning of the season. Premier League ready, Premier League proven, would be a fantastic additional to the squad. And then you have, when Declan Rice come back, you'll have a midfield of Declan Rice and Bruno, which is fantastic. So I think we really should put all our focus on this right now. We have been also looking for a left winger. Maybe Tzolis, I know, has come in, who we touch on very shortly. But I think another left winger, a bit more, first team ready than Christoph Tzolis. No offense to him, but maybe they Arsenal need a starting winner, and he could be like the backup winger. But not many options left at the minute. There's talk of course, Arsenal going back in for Nico Williams, who Arteta loves. Has tried to get him for a few years now. That guy has an insane contract. So let's see. Watch this space regarding Nico Williams. And then who else have you got? You've got some players like Rafael Leao, who hasn't really sparkled in many seasons. Bradley Barcola has been mentioned, of course. He's also been linked to other clubs, and his valuation could be too much for us. So it's going to be an interesting few weeks, and they need to get a move on, because they have preseason games starting very soon. I think they play away in Spain, Girona on Saturday, if I remember correctly. So we really need to get a move on. The season's not too far away. We got the Community Shield against Man City, the opening game before the Premier League starts. So Arsenal really need to start doing some business. But yeah, nothing really new regarding Bruno at the minute. And then we will finish off, guys, on the signing of the day. Christos Tzolis, who I guess is not that... it's a good addition. Let's say that. Welcome to the club. And look, it's not one of those signings that, I said, gets the heart pumping, not super exciting. him himself, regarding him and his stats, they are exciting because he gets goals, he gets assists, he's very attack minded, and I think he will be a good addition. And maybe not as a starting winger, but as an impact player, and then gradually grows into that position. So I would like to say that it's a good signing, but not the marquee signing that we need. And what we can do is we can have a little look at maybe a little bit of his stats, because they are pretty good if you haven't seen already. Let's get rid of Bruno. And then we'll have a look at Christoph Tzolis a little bit in the screen here. So what we'll do is we'll have a quick look at his error loading video. That's not great, guys. Let's try that again. We don't need to see the video. Let's have a little look at his stats, because that's this is what gets me excited about this player. I'm not sure about anybody else, but this is what I think people can get excited about, because I said, well, he's not the marquee signing, but he just has some good attacking prowess, and I think he will be a good signing for the club. So if we just have I showed this the other day on one of my other streams about when the deal was actually agreed, and you'll see from this graph here that the games and assist ratio are fantastic. You can see there in just in the league games, you see they have the 26 games, 9 goals and 13 assists. But then you have the Jupiler Pro League playoffs. So they have like a weird system in Belgium where the top 6 or 8 play each other again. And in those 10 games, you got 8 goals and 10 assists. That's insane. And Champions League, not so prolific, but of course he's playing against a better team and with lower opposition. So 9 games, 2 goals, 1 assist. Champions League qualifiers, he got 4 games, 1 goal, 4 assists. And he altogether in the league, he played 36 games and got 40 goals and assists, which I know it's the Pro League in Belgium and it's not the most difficult, but you still have to produce, and those numbers are fantastic. And then overall, he's had 52 games last season with all the small cups, the qualifying and everything else. 52 games with 51 goal and assists. So incredible. He's nearly getting a goal or assist basically every game. Now, Premier League, bit tougher league. Is he going to start every week? No, those numbers are going to be a lot less. I understand that much. But looking at this, very, very optimistic about the player. His attacking, he gets a lot of shots per game. I was doing a little bit more research on him, and he gets 3.5 shots, not on goal, but per game. He gets 3.5 shots per game, which is great, because we always try to walk the ball into the net. So it would be nice to get someone who pops a shot every occasion he gets. Kind of like Trossard would be very fond of taking a shot. So I think similar to Trossard in a way, quite technical, not the fastest, although I think I saw when I was doing some research last week that his top speed was over 34 miles per hour, which is not exactly slow. So very, very interesting to see how he gets on. Not super excited about the signing, but I'm actually excited about his stats and how they look and how they can transfer to the Premier League. Remains to be seen exactly how it's going to transfer. But yeah, looking to see him on the pitch. We'll get to see him hopefully on Saturday against Girona. Arsenal have a few pre-season friendlies coming up, so I'm sure we can all get a little closer look at him there. And then of course we saw some players in training, in the training videos that they send out. Of course, now we have still video where they had Gabriel Jesus, now blonde, in the training video. He's got 1 year left in his contract. Let's see what happens with him. Players like Reece Nelson, who's still at the club, believe it or not, is and he hasn't done much. A better beard, and he's still at the club. So a lot of dead wood still here. Kepa, I think, will also maybe be someone that we look to move on in the near future as well. But yeah, they're still all at the club, which is surprising to many. That's it, guys. I just wanted to record a video, just check in with you, see how, just to keep you updated with what's going on the last. I will see what happens in the next week or so. Maybe if there's some breaking news, we can go live and we can chat about it. If not, I will make maybe another until then, thank you very much for all checking in. If you'd like to hit the like button and subscribe on your way out, I would much appreciate it. I am a small content creator that is just starting and looking to grow the channel a little bit, so we can do more live shows and live watch along, so we can grow the community and have a good chat about the club. And let's see where it goes.